One of the questions we get most frequently is where am I supposed to find people? How am I supposed to hire people to help me with my content creation within my business? We've gotten very lucky with this at Herd. And so I'm going to share some of the lessons that we've learned and how we found great talent for our company. Let's get into it. All right, so a frequent, problem that I think a lot of creators and small businesses and marketers have is trying to find talent, right? Especially right now, the hiring market is not friendly, and if you're trying to find someone who can help you create, who can help you get this content out, there's a lot of people who say they can do it, who have no ability, and will charge you a ton of money, and B, it's unclear sometimes what to look for or where to look to find people with actual skill. So I want to give you the process and where we found some success in hiring. First of all, you need to understand and have some self-awareness around your personal abilities and contributions and bandwidth in order to contribute to the marketing of your business or to your content creation. So things like, are you more of a strategist? Do you have the ideas? Do you understand the platforms? Is it going to be a concept? Is the content going to be concepted in your brain, but you need someone to help execute? That's my story. I have I have a lot of, I don't have all of them, but I have a lot of the fodder for what the content should be. I have an understanding of what our audience wants. But aside from talking like I'm doing here, I'm not going to be able to make elaborate videos. I'm not going to be able to design beautiful pieces, those types of things. And I don't have the bandwidth to do all of the long form writing while I'm running our business. So for me, finding some people who can help execute on the ideas that I know are important is where there's a good fit. Yours might be in the reverse. You might be a really great visual designer and you can understand what types of things matter and what types of things need to be discussed, but you're not a great writer. Okay, well, that's where you need to go out and find writing talent as the priority and allow yourself to support in the visual capacity. And for me, it's the opposite. I can help with a writing standpoint and get some help with the design. So that's the first thing. Make sure you're being self-aware. Think through where your strengths are. The second thing is, even though you are looking for something with a priority, you notice I use that word, is writing the talent that needs to be prioritized. You still want to find generalists who can execute, especially early on. It's more important that the people that you hire be curious and be willing to just give a bunch of effort than it is to be an expert or to have, a bunch of examples of where they've done the work at an extremely high level. The reason for this is several, but number one, probably early on, you're still going to be finding message audience fit, right? So whatever it is you start saying on day one, that's going to evolve over time, and it may look very different in 6 months, and the execution of that may look very different. The second thing is that platforms themselves, the platforms that you're creating for and distributing on, are constantly changing. And so if you find someone who only has one niche skill, you might find the best graphic designer or the best video editor who can make beautiful cinematography, cinematic types of movies and films and all these things. But, the platforms change, and all of a sudden, LinkedIn is a great example. Video doesn't always do as well on LinkedIn. Sometimes longer form written content does much better on LinkedIn. Well, now you've hired this person. You don't have somebody who can write. You need someone who can be multidisciplinary and can kind of help you evolve with the platforms. That's to say, for me, younger tends to be better. Okay, I'm not trying to find necessarily the most experienced person in the industry, and that's for a bunch of reasons. I have a view of how to do this that I like to do a certain way, so I don't want to bring in a bunch of theories and a bunch of different worldviews on how to create content. And so that might be different for you. But just for me, younger tends to be better so that you can find someone with a bunch of different abilities that way. And the last thing I'd say is you need to find hobbyists. Find people who are doing the work that you need done as a part of just what they enjoy doing. This might be someone who has a really good Instagram feed. and they just enjoy, whether it be their own personal fitness or a travel feed, or, I know someone who does a really, really well done financial freedom Instagram feed. And he's somebody who taught Dave Ramsey for many, many years and just enjoyed memes. And so made an Instagram feed just about that. That would be a great person to have helping you with your content. Even though that's completely a hobby, he doesn't make any money through that. He understands the platform, he knows how to create for it, and he's built a successful channel doing so, right? So it could be that, it could just be fun TikToks, it could be personal podcasts, whatever. Somebody we've had on the show here before is a great example of this, Tony Miller. He began his podcast as really just a personal endeavor, personal hobby for talking about coaching, which is what he does. And many of the brands that he works with recognized, oh, this guy knows how to do video. This guy knows how to do audio. This guy knows how to do social. And so they partnered with him and had him help them make very short product demonstration videos with his players in their gym, or do an episode of his podcast talking about the different features that he likes. Now, he's not full-time for those companies, but they're partnering with him because he has the abilities and he's multi-talented in those ways. So he can help them in a bunch of different ways. So if you enjoy the work, you can always learn the flow and the industry knowledge needed for that specific industry or vertical. So find people who can do the work themselves and are doing it on a hobby basis. That's the main pieces to it. The other things I would say is look for older students. These are just tactical things, but like look for older students, look for teachers. We've had a lot of success with professors and teachers who, have a job for 9 months of the year, but have a 3-month, 4-month break in the middle. And even during their school year can kind of, be flexible with certain things. Find people who are value-based along with your values. For us, this is people who work at churches, pastors, some missionaries and writers for Christian publications who understand who we are as people and are willing to help and flex in order to help us accomplish our goals. Those are just some of the places that I've found success. We've been very blessed to have people like Johnny and Tristan and Carlton and Dustin and Brandon and all these different folks who have a bunch of different skills and are able to kind of flex and evolve as the needs of us and our customers change. So hopefully that will help you as you find some talent for your team. We'll see you tomorrow.